Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here, and it is Saturday. So we're doing a Saturday Share the Love Club, and today we're sharing the love for Ron Harper Jr. Last year, a two-way player for the Raptors in his rookie year, and played very sparingly on the regular roster, but did play quite a bit for the 905 and G League. Well, he's set up to go on that route once again this year, as far as he's got his second consecutive 2-year deal for this year coming up this year. So it should be interesting to see. We actually have 3 two-ways signed as of last night. We've signed Javon Freeman-Liberty as our third two-way. So I was shocked by this, actually. I thought that the two ways kind of would be there to dangle, but apparently from what I'm hearing from Blake Murphy and Samson Folk is that these two ways can really be flexible, that if they really don't like one of these guys in camp that's on a two-way, they can actually cut them and sign a different person to the two-way for the season. So the two ways aren't set in stone for sure. I mean, they're good indication of what they like to do because, we know we don't do things to mess up. We don't shoot to miss, like OG said. So we're going to get somebody and put them on a two-way. Well, we ain't doing that to screw around with them. That's because we want them. And right now, our 3 two-ways are Marquise Noel, Ron Harper Jr., and Javon Freeman-Liberty. What a great name, huh? Freeman-Liberty. If y'all don't know who Freeman-Liberty is, he was one of the best summer league players in the summer league this year. He averaged 21 points per game for the Bulls. He was on the Windy City Bulls last year on the Energy League. And Bulls fans very high on him in the summer league performances and waiting for them to sign him. Well, who came and scooped him? And now are they saying the things that they say about our front office? About the Bulls front office now? Yeah, they are actually. They're very much saying they dropped the ball on this one, letting Freeman-Liberty come to Toronto. Yes, good job, Bobby and Masai, stealing a top player from the summer league team of the Chicago Bulls. This is the player that Marquise got in that little with at the beginning of that game against the Bulls. The first game of the summer league, Marquise was going out of bounds, and a player pushed him even further, going out of bounds, and he took exception to that. So he turned around and showed that I may be 5'7", a little dude, but I ain't taking none of that BS. And he got right up in Javon's face. And Javon shoved him again. He said, "Get out of my face, little guy." Bam, pushed him again. Yeah, that's who this is. Javon Freeman-Liberty is a feisty guy who can really score. He can hoop it up. I was watching some of his highlights last night, and he has some really nice little teardrop shots at mid-range. He's a hooper. He's a scorer. He's only 6'4". He's a shooting guard. He's not really a point guard. So he's exactly what he's going to be. But he's going to bolster the 905, and who knows, he could be very helpful to Darko on the main roster in certain ways. Really, really cool stuff yesterday on a brand new open gym that came out yesterday, the first part of Summer League, and we get our first sights on what Darko's doing as the coach, and I tell you, I was very impressed. Very, very, very impressed with what I saw of Darko so far with his coaching and what he's doing with the Raptors, just from the open gym episode that came out yesterday. If y'all have not watched this, you need to watch it. You need to watch it immediately because there's stuff with him and Pat Delaney, Grady Dick, Marquise Noel, a lot of interesting little interviews and really insight into how he's going to kind of run this team differently. You can tell already. The vibes are very different in practice. And the way he has a certain passion, Darko, it really translates. You can tell in the open gym. You see his passion. At one point, he's yelling something crazy and getting just a ball of energy just to show the kind of passion and energy and activity he wants from the players. He's like, "Wow!" I was like, "Whoa, look at what Darko's doing. Crazy. So crazy." So lots of stuff to talk about today. First of all, the focus, Ron Harper Jr., share the love club, talking the praises of Ron. I know that may be a little fraught with, well, what are the praises of Ron? But I know there are lots of things to say nicely about Ron, and I will say them. And then open gym episode yesterday, and a free age, also a three-way signed again last night, Javon Freeman-Liberty. And then on the down low, y'all, this is also what happened in the last day or so. The Raptors have the rights to Mogi. They did go ahead and come back for Mogi, not on the level I thought they would, like a two-way, like for him, or an Exhibit 10 even. No, Mogi's going to be straight up 905 this year. And I love it. I love that they retained him. He showed effort. He showed talent. And he was like the dude, the best guy that came other than our guys Grady and Marquise. So it's good that they showed interest and they're retaining him in some way. I think what they did was they have the G League draft and they kind of like pick people, and the Raptors picked him in their first round pick. So Mogi is officially a Raptors 905 for this season. And he's not going to be on the regular roster at all, though. But he's a project coming up, and he's still in our franchise. So that's really, really good news about Mohamedou Gueye being retained by the Raptors. So they're taking care of stuff. I love that they're doing this. They're taking care of business every day, taking care of business every way. Dana is Canadian, just like BTO. Good morning, everyone. What do you think of the Freeman-Liberty signing? I think it's cool. I think that it's, the reaction of the Bulls fans on Twitter says a lot, that they're upset. And they're kind of like, why aren't we signing him? Apparently he got offers for two ways from 3 other teams than the Raptors, and he rejected all 3 of them. The Bulls didn't offer him a deal at all. There was no deal from the Bulls at all. And we just kind of came in and got him. He chose us over 3 other NBA teams. Once again, we're hearing this from these levels of places, like Justin Champagnie a couple years ago, Ron Harper Jr. last year, and now Javon Freeman-Liberty having options and choosing the Raptors. Are we not a very nice place to be, Chris Bouchard? Because black people can't come to Canada, or what? Or whatever bullshit you're trying to say last summer, or that the Raptors aren't an attractive team to come to. Well, that doesn't seem like that's the case at a certain level of players around the G League and two ways and stuff like that. It seems like they understand a foot in the door with the Raptors may get you in the NBA, and people are coming to us. Yes, they are, because Javon had some choices. And he chose us, y'all, straight up. And when this kind of stuff happens, I like to put this on blast as a Raptors freak, because honestly, we need to let the real perception of what is going on with our team, with the players, be more of what the public perception is. The players on the down low know Toronto's a great place to be, a great organization. But why does the media and fans around the world think that it's not a good place to play still? Perception, Chris Bouchard, that kind of bullshit. Well, when you hear something like Javon Freeman-Liberty saying, I had 3 other options, I rejected them, and I chose the Raptors. Well, there you go. There you go. Let's put this on blast and let everybody hear that. Yeah, he had 3 other choices he didn't take, and he came to Toronto, baby. That's right. Get it right. Good morning to you, Dana. Good to see a good Canadian Dana in first once again, as always. So good. I like the signing. I like the signing because of the reaction of the Chicago fans. I like the signing because this dude is a baller. He's got these dreads, and he's just one of these dudes. Like, he's the kind of guy you go to the court in your local neighborhood and you're playing, and there's a weird guy with dreads and like high socks, and he's just kind of like really hooping crazy, and he may be a little maniacal and kind of like, you're kind of scared of him. And when you play him, he's like so tenacious and just kind of like very active and all over the place. This is who this guy is, Javon Freeman-Liberty. He is this dude. You know this type. If you play street ball for any period of time in your life, you know this kind of guy. When you show up to the court and you see this dude with them high socks and the dreads, and you're like, oh shit, this kind of guy again. Oh crap. You know exactly what I'm talking about right now there. Trevor J's here. Good morning, Raptors family. Good morning to you, Trevor J. Let's see if Trevor J's got some words of wisdom for us this morning on this Saturday Share the Love Club for Ron Harper Jr. No matter what else is happening in your day, keep believing, keep seeking, keep giving, keep loving, keep praying, keep praising, and leave the rest to God. Oh my gosh. I thought you were about to start some journey there with Steve Perry. You said, no matter what's happening in your day, don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. All right. I better stop before I really fuck up my voice and really embarrass myself. But yeah, I like that, Trevor J. Hey, listen, there may be ups and downs. Maybe you're on a good little down because of some bad things that have happened recently. But he's saying, keep believing, keep seeking, keep going, and you'll get through it. Storms will pass. That's what they say in AA. There's it's just a moment. This time will pass and you will get through it. It may be tough right this second, but don't give up. Keep going and keep doing what you've got to do to keep going. All right, Trevor, thanks for your words of wisdom as usual. G saying happy about Freeman-Liberty. He was a beast in Summer League and in the G League. Thought he was much older than 23. 3 other teams wanted him, and he chose the Raptors. That's right. Let's put this on billboard in Las Vegas next to the Sphere and the big basketball and say the Raptors had 3 other teams that got rejected for Javon Freeman-Liberty. That's right. He wanted to be liberty free. In some ways, I could start making, not jokes, but allusions or comparisons to things like people escaping the U.S. and coming to Canada as a free man. This happened in the history of the North America when there was slavery in the United States. People would get the hell out of the States and come to Toronto as a free man with liberty. It's kind of an interesting little play on the word. Some people were saying on Twitter last night, why the hell is he signing with the only Canadian team with those names? That's an American name. If I ever heard American name, well, I'm like, motherfucker, you don't think we have freedom and liberty up here, bitch? Yeah, we do, because I'm doing this stream right now and cussing. That's right, we have freedom and liberty up here. So why can't we have freedom and liberty? You think you just have the market, U.S., that like, oh, we have a Liberty Bell in Philadelphia, so we have the market on liberty. In some ways, liberty is just an idea. It's not like a branding slogan, y'all, you motherfuckers. Either you walk it and you do it, or, it's full of shit. So it's like liberty can be all around the world. And in fact, I don't know if they had liberty rankings, but it may be that the U.S. isn't exactly at the top of those rankings right now for liberty rankings. So, I think it's kind of funny, like how people were like, he can't be on the Canadian team. His name is so American. That was so funny. That was so funny to me. Oh, good stuff, G. Good stuff. Yeah, he's been tearing it up. He was tearing it up in Windy City last year. He continued to tear it up in Summer League. He's just on a tear. And well, let's see if he can keep tearing it up for a Raptors and the Raptors jersey for the 905 and maybe on the main roster. That's the crazy thing about these 2-ways. When you give a 2-way to somebody, well, that's 2 ways. That means Marquise Noel can show up at the Scotiabank Arena and check into a game at some point. That means Ron Harper may get to play more with the big boy Raptors this year. Or that means that we may free a man and give him liberty to play in our games in Scotiabank Arena, because the 2-way means 2 ways. And that means these guys could show up and play on the main roster. So I'm very curious about Javon playing for us on the main roster. In some ways, I'm curious because of Darko's past with Memphis Grizzlies and that kind of player on the Grizzlies being on the Raptors all of a sudden. Was he going to do some interesting stuff with Javon Freeman-Liberty as the 2-way on the Raptors signed last night? Very, 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 very interesting. Shere Khan is here. Good to see Shere Khan, Raptor Freak, Rookie of the Year. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Let's see. Raps doing an excellent job filling up 2-ways with offensive-centric guards to ensure depth development for this season. Reminds me of the good old days of Kyle DeMar, Lou, and Leandro. Wow. A Lou Williams, Leandro Barboza drop here. Holy crap, Shere Khan. Showing that Raptors past muscle. He knows about the days of Barboza. Wow. Yeah. Very, very cool. I like that. We'll have to see. This guard group that we've got now, I don't know. We'll have to see how they fit and who's going to show up and be more of the prominent players for us on the main roster. A lot of talk about this we had on Thursday about the point guard situation. Well, now we got a guy who's going to be around the shooting guard. Where does he figure in? Grady's probably ahead of him. Obviously Gary and other people should be ahead of him, but he may get some run at some point, somehow, some way at Scotiabank Arena. So we'll have to see. Good morning to Iceman like Gervin. Hopefully you have some more comments. Thank you for all the updates on the comments during the night. Yes, it's good. If you guys are ever wondering, sometimes a cowboy may come in and put in some comments on posts just to update us all on what's going on. If you need an update, you can check out his comments. Cowboy saying, "Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freaks." Bam. Good to see you, Bradley. I like the Liberty pickup. Let's go, Raptors. Another piece of the puzzle. Yes, Bradley. Yes, he's like a mastermind. Another piece of the puzzle. Yes, Bradley. I love it too. It's so good. Blackhawks here. Good to see Neil. Good to see you today, Neil. Ron will be all right. Okay, good, good. Raptors doing it the right way by letting him take in on the two-way. Yeah. Listen, Ron has got the ability to possibly make a leap. If he can get his scoring more consistent, he could be more of a good player to play a lot. In some ways, like I said, the stat stuffing by him, the amount of assists and rebounds and steals and blocks that he just collects being on an NBA court is good. If we could just get him to shoot a little better, make his three more consistently, then he would get a lot more run and more consideration in different ways. He probably knows that himself too. His mystique from his Rutgers days with that half court like clutch shot to win a game, and some of the other things he did, his heroics during his Rutgers career. In some ways, that's part of his legend, and he hasn't totally captured that at the G League 905 level. Maybe this year he does. Maybe he figures things out and makes a leap, and then all of a sudden he is making huge clutch, major baskets and helping the 905 win close games in crucial situations this season coming up. We'll have to see. There's some promise in Ron that if he can just get a little more consistent with his jump shot, I hear that about a lot of different Raptor guys, we can make some really good improvements. So that's the area I really see that Ron needs to work on the most. If he could stop having 3 for 10 nights and start having some more 5 for 10 or 6 for 10 nights more consistently, you're there, bro. You're there. It doesn't take a whole lot. Doesn't take a whole lot. Good to see you, Neil. And thanks for coming last Saturday. This is a fantastic event. And I really do appreciate everybody who showed up last week. It was a really, really fun time. And I'll always remember that day and more to come. We're going to have more of these in the future for sure. And I hope you'll come back, Neil. Tom saying, good morning. Gotta like the two ways. And that's cool about Mo-Gee. Yeah, I'm glad that Mo-Gee has something with us, that he's tethered to our franchise somehow, some way. He just seemed like the kind of guy you don't want to let go because there's a lot of promise there. I mean, with my scouting eye, I see some really interesting stuff. I see Chris Boucher stuff, but with other stuff easier and better, which is very strange to me. Seriously, I can see Chris Boucher, a lot of Chris Boucher and Mo-Gee, but with some stuff that he does just better, like the dribbling, the passing, and maybe even the three-point shooting is better than Chris's. So that's kind of why I like Mo-Gee. Give me all the rest of the stuff that Chris can do, rebounding and blocking shots, but the other stuff is maybe a little bit better in Mo-Gee. That's the interesting thing. Tom Duke saying front office totally taking care of business, trend-setting organization. That's right. There's a Jake Fischer report that's really dumb. This really kind of upset me and made me feel like, what are these idiots talking about? Oh my gosh, they're so dumb. It's about hang on, let me find it first. No, 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 no. It was about they all right, basically Jake Fischer has said this. He said that there's a sense around the league that the Raptors have wasted teams' time over the last transaction cycles, engaging in these trade talks with never having the intention of moving any of these guys anyway, via Jake Fischer on the Raptors front office. And they're trying to say this is a bad thing. Jake, what the fuck, bro? Seriously, are you writing this about every single office in the NBA? Because this just sounds like a front office. Are they under obligations to make trades just because people covet their players? Like, just because Atlanta wants Pascal, do we have to make a trade to them because they want him? Is there some sort of weird, like, blind spot we're finding with Jake Fischer and the Raptors where he feels like we're secondary citizens in the NBA and that we're only there to service the other teams with deals to help bolster their teams at our own detriment? Like, what the fuck, Jake Fischer? Would you say this about any of the American teams that like, oh, the Mavericks have wasted the other team's time with each cycle of the transaction cycles the last 2 times? Well, listen, I believe we have. I don't disagree with what you're saying. Yeah, maybe we have wasted some people's time, but so what? That's part of what that job is. And is there any mandatory rule that you have to make deals just because you talk about trades? No, there's none of this stuff. So why do you imply that we have special rules as a Canadian team? And then on top of that, I'm wondering, do you get these special rules because we are run by a black man? Seriously, seriously, you don't need to be telling us how to run our team and whether we make trades or not. Just because we don't make trades doesn't mean we're in trouble. There's no rule that says we have to. And the fact that you're trying to paint that we're difficult or we're failing because we haven't done that, no. In fact, the astute Raptor fan will see that they're holding off from trading our very good players for shit, and they'll be very thankful and be like, "Ah, that's my front office. Yeah, yeah, don't trade OG for peanuts and stupid shit. Yeah, thank you for not doing that." So it's like, come on, Jake, that's a really, really bad take. And what the fuck are you doing? You know what it's like? It's like, who's, it's more like Jake Fischer. You're wasting everybody's time with your dumb rumors and clickbait. That's what it is. It's not the Raptors are wasting everybody's time and engaged in trade talks. Y'all aren't serious. If you really want OG, you got to understand the price is super high. You got to understand we don't need to move these guys. We did our homework. You didn't do your homework. You're coming to us and trying to cheat off our homework at the last minute before you had to turn it in. Well, we did our homework. Our guys are on our team and we are set up, and that's who we want. We don't really want to trade OG or Pascal. That's been very evident, but y'all really, really want them. Well, maybe there isn't a price for this. Maybe you can't be the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, and just name a price and say, oh, everybody has a price. Well, maybe we don't have a price for OG and Pascal that you're willing to pay. And that may be the whole reason. I really think this thing that Jake has tweeted is irresponsible, and in some ways shows just the bias against Canada. In some ways, why are you making us play by special rules, Jake Fischer? Just because we're a Canadian team? Is it because we have a black man and an Asian man running our team? Is this special rules for minorities running teams instead of white men running teams? This is what it feels like to a degree, Jake Fischer. Why? Excuse Masai for wasting other GM's time for calling him. First of all, they probably called him. Who's wasting whose time? They're calling us. And they're saying, yeah, we really want Pascal in Atlanta. Will you take DeJounte Murray and DeAndre Hunter in a trade? No, we don't want that. We want Pascal here. You're wasting our time. Hang up. Who's wasting whose time? You trying to say we're wasting their time? No, it's they're wasting our time with their bullshit offers. So yeah, you want to paint it that way, that is the Raptors are wasting everybody's time. Okay, so be it. Can we get in penalized by some hack writer that writes clickbait constantly? Can we get penalized by you because you deem that we were wasting everybody's time? No. It's not like Adam Silver's going to call up Masai and say, "Hey, Masai, you're really wasting everybody's time right now." Oh, it's like, what the fuck are you, Jake Fischer, with your bullshit? Like, seriously, what is that? I love it. I burn him crispy. Yeah. Taking care of business. That's right, Tom. And wasting people's time, apparently. I'm all for it. I mean, in some ways, like I said, this is cool. The Raptors and Kevin Durant last year really, really kind of controlling free agency last year. And in some ways, in the download, we do this sometimes. Everybody wants to see what's going to happen with Pascal. Oh, we're waiting to see if Pascal gets moved. They're holding us up. The Raptors won't trade Pascal. They're holding everybody up. You guys are losers. I love it. I love it so much. All right, let's keep going. Good morning, Stargate. It's good to see you. Cowboys saying, this is so dumb. Was Liberty undrafted? He has a baller in him, and Noel's and him and Noel. This team is stacked. Let's go. He is a baller. Yeah. He was on the rights to the Bulls, and that's why he was at their summer league. But they didn't do anything with him in the period where he's like is wide open. Everybody, hey, come in. These are the summer league guys. You saw them. Here you go. We speculated a couple times this past week that we may be looking at other summer league players that were really good and maybe using one of our spots on them. And well, that's what happened. We got one of the best bull in summer league, really, Freeman-Liberty. So there you go. There you go. I think it's going to be fun to see. I think that Marquise will recognize the dog and Javon from their first little interaction, and the dog and Javon will recognize the dog and Marquise, and there'll be a nice partnership because now they got to be teammates. Maybe this is what Masai was talking about. We need more friction built into our team. Okay, Marquise, push that guy. Let's get that guy at the end of summer league. Yeah, more friction on the Raptors. Yeah, that's some dog spirit. Yeah, I love it. Iceman saying only one Raptors main roster spot left, barring a trade. Downton Jr., who gets invited to training camp. 3 camp spots open. Downton Jr. and who else? Mogi, Kevin O'Banner. Yeah, I was trying to figure this out with Blake Murphy last night on Twitter. I actually messaged him and asked him for clarity on this because he's not very clear. Like, Blake, seriously, you're not being very clear with your tweets. Please flesh it out for us. Please, like even the Mogi tweet, it's ambiguous. You said that we got Mogi for a first round pick. And I'm like, did you trade a first round pick to get the rights to Mogi, or did we use our first round pick in the G League draft to get his rights? Just elaborate, please, Blake. You are a fountain of information that we rely on to get viable, reliable information. So just explain, baby us. Explain what how we did get Mogi. Because I'm like, a first round pick? We didn't trade a first round pick to get Mogi. What do you mean? Elaborate is what I'm saying. And then that same thing on this. I tried to clarify with you, and it's still not clear to me what you said. You're saying, no, I was counting O'Banner in that number. So I'm like, I don't know how many people we have actually available to come in, if it's 20 or 21. And you're right. Jeff Doughton Jr. would be in that slot for that last roster spot. So it's not like we have a lot of wiggle room there, but we could cut someone and waive someone still near the end of the season and make wiggle room real quick. There is a lot of flexibility still, even though it seems like we're filling up. And we've got pretty much the main people we're going to be going into training camp with. We'll add-ons on the fringes. Maybe Mogi will be one of the add-on guys, the 20th guy, and that'll be what happens. But we'll have to see. Once again, you're saying barring no trades. That's another thing that could be changing things up real quick. And then also the fact that we can still waive and move around the two ways is flexibility. And then also, like I said, we could waive somebody who's a regular roster person just to make more room. I want to make sure we get Jeffrey in there no matter what. That's what I care about the most. But yeah, I'm looking at my spreadsheet with the roster now that Javon Freeman-Liberty is there. We have there's 19 guys with Jeff Doughton counted. And how do we get for a training camp 20 or 21? That would mean 2 more guys or just 1 more guy added the name list as far as traveling with us in training camp and preseason. So I don't know. It's not totally clear. And Sampson and Blake are not clarifying it enough for me to totally understand what they're saying. It's very ambiguous with O'Banner's Exhibit 10 and who and exactly how many spots we have and stuff. Iceman, if you can figure it out exactly for real, you could do better than Sampson and Blake and clarify it for me, because I don't exactly get it. With the extra 2-way spot and the CBA changes, it's not totally clear this year how many spots we have left to fill going into training camp. Infamous is here. Salute the freaks. I like this Liberty dude. Nice size and speed. Yeah, he's a baller. Like I said, you show up the blacktop and you see a guy like him out there ready to play some 5-on-5 pickup. And you're like, oh, it's one of these guys. yeah. You know what I'm talking about if you play blacktop pickup. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Trevor's saying, as one of your father's family members in the U.S. becomes friends with his brother north of the border. I like that. That's right. I like that. We have Freeman-Liberty coming to Canada. And there's something very poetic about that. Seriously, in the history of, Harriet Tubman and different things like that. I think it's kind of cool. Just to play off his name, but everybody's saying, oh, that's an American name. Why is he going to Canada? It's hilarious. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Look who's returned. I guess there's a little bit of a downtime, so he has more time to talk to us. We haven't seen him in a little bit, but I'm very, very honored and blown away once again to be graced with the presence of Coach Darko Rajakovic, who is here with us in the chat once again, y'all. Coach Darko, congratulations on the first summer league of your reign. And I think things went okay, considering, they didn't win, but there was good progress shown by the end of the summer league. And thank you for the first open eyes look on your techniques in practice from the Open Gym episode yesterday. Really good stuff. Let's see what Darko's saying, guys. Good morning, Raptor Freak Nation. Glad to be with you all on a weekend. I just want to say that you should all be very excited because we plan to utilize the point guard position like you've never seen. Wow, straight from Darko's mouth. Holy cow. Now, when you say this, Darko, does this mean that Scotty will figure very heavily into your point guard plans? I know that this is something that's Raptors Nation's just dying to know how Scotty is going to be maybe the point guard this year, and could it work? And do you have a design scheme to figure out how to use Scotty really well at point guard for us? I'm interested. I'm very curious, Darko. You always come in here and say you have surprises for us. And I'm like, yeah, I like the surprises so far. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Yeah, Infamous is saying he reminds me of Trent Jr. with more in his bag. You know, he's not really, I don't know. He can shoot like outside, but he's really a mid-range kind of scorer, Javon. Like from what I've seen in his highlights, he really operates really well in that mid-range area. I mean, Gary does well there too. I mean, once again, these are different players, different like snowflakes. Like every snowflake is different. And we can make kind of cross comparisons positionally in certain ways, but there's a lot of difference. I mean, Gary's experience and his defensive acumen may be totally off the charts compared to Javon's. We'll have to see. But there is a little bit of a comparison there. I can see that, Infamous. I mean, at least the same position for sure. Let's see. Cowboys saying we got a lot of high energy players. What out of NBA the Raptors will shock and awe? Okay, look out, NBA. The Raptors will shock and awe. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, okay, Cowboy. Stealing old American slogans for war. Shock and awe. Shock and awe. Ah! Country Kong's here. Scotty Barnes, Twitch Family 2022. Scotty Barnes, where are you? You are somewhere with your dog and not on Twitch. And Country Kong and I are wondering, yeah, I don't think he's ever coming back. Good morning, Raptor Freak team. Welcome to Toronto, JFL. That's right. His initials are just like the comedy festival in Montreal, Just for Laughs, which is coming up in not too long. JFL. That made me laugh. Maybe he should dress up for Halloween as the Just for Laughs green guy. You know, the little dude. That would be kind of weird. And nobody would get that probably unless they knew his initials, and it would make sense then. What a great signing. During the Raps Bulls game, I took notice of this highly competitive player. He seems quick, explosive, and hungry for more. There you go. That's right. We were scouting, and he was hard not to notice in that first game. And he's played like that. I remember him actually from G League last year, too, on the Bulls. He was annoying then, too. Like he was killing it last season in the G League. So, yeah, he's going to be interesting. He's very high energy. And he does have that very competitive spirit, very, very competitive spirit. We're getting competitors with Marquise Noel and Javon Freeman-Liberty. These are competitors. Look out. Seymour saying, not sure if I like the signing. Where does he fit? In what position does he play? Weird, but okay. Rely on Masai. Seymour's like, I'm not sure about this. Do we need him positionally? But then he's like, I'll rely on Masai at the end of it. You know, I was a little befuddled by the guard signing too, because I'd just been saying the last couple of days, well, we don't need any more guards. If we could get another center, that'd be good, or a forward or something like that. But no, they went and got a guard, but they didn't get a point guard. They got a shooting guard, and maybe even like a small forward swing. He's more likely to play some 3 than some 1. I don't know. Maybe he is trained as a 1 also. We'll have to see. I don't know. Maybe we should ask Darko. But, you know, I was a little befuddled by it too. It came out of left field. But the guy, I'm like, yeah, this guy's a certified baller. Okay, I understand why they got him. We need more hoop getters because we just didn't have very good hoopers last year. Well, this is a hooper. And this is a guy who could stir things up. Like if we're absolutely dreadfully bad on offense, ice cold for 5 minutes, and Matt Devlin saying the Raptors have not scored a field goal since 2 minutes into the second quarter, and then we're like, get Javon Freeman and get him out there and let him score real quick and fill it up real quick. That's that kind of guy we needed. And it's like a Lou Williams kind of guy, like just an old school baller, Jamal Crawford kind of guy. And in some ways, this guy has that kind of role to him, it seems like. So he's like, we need a quick basket, and we're not making any shots. This guy will make shots. And that's what I like about him. Shir Khan saying Raptors should now focus on extensions for all of our guys now. Look them up long term, lock them up long term, and retain a solid core, even if that leads to luxury tax like Denver did. That's the price you have to pay for another chip. Yes. And yes, if you want your team to be overly talented, you got to pay into bird rights and go over the cap. You've got to retain dudes. You got to make tough decisions to invest in paying more to get to that next level, to get that championship. And this is so true. Golden State, Denver, these are things that the last two champions have done. And I think that's just like part of the plan, actually, for us. I mean, they'll justify going into the luxury tax if it means a second Larry O'Brien real quick. Oh, yeah. And that's what people shouldn't worry. You know, Raptors Truth is a really weird entity. Raptors Truth. This motherfucker on Twitter with his doomsday shit that he writes all the time. He's saying that this summer has been a disaster for the Raptors front office. Well, I don't look at it the same way as him. I think they've done very well considering difficult situations. Next summer, he's predicting a cataclysm apocalypse for the Raptors because of decisions they have to make with free agents and contracts and shit like that. Well, what if they just retain everybody? They say we like our guys. We like developing our guys. We like keeping our guys. Masai said this a couple times in the last few years. Well, why wouldn't they do the bird rights and keep everybody and just pay the hell out of all of them? Why not? That's what Golden State and Denver did to get to the championship. Why wouldn't Toronto do the same? So, and even with the flexibility of the bird rights with most of our players, then we could still get that cherry on top good player like a Marc Gasol at the last moment to put us absolutely over the top to win a championship. So that's what I'm saying. There's ways to do this. And somebody who's really negative, like Raptors Truth, on Twitter, is somebody who's just like, yeah, what the fuck, man? Your life is miserable. Seriously, like sometimes the way you look at the Raptors, if you look at the Raptors as shit and they're garbage and they're going to be horrible next year, in some ways you're talking about yourself. You know, your own perception and how you feel yourself kind of comes out in the way you express or describe things. You know, you could see a gray sky outside, but to somebody else, it's a blue sky. You know, it's like your perception can be different depending on whether you're upset or not. You could have a really bad upset stomach and you're just pissy. And you may write stupid ass tweets negatively about the Raptors. So it's like, in some ways, the way Raptors Truth writes his stuff on Twitter, it speaks more to him being a miserable fuck than any kind of truth about the Raptors. Seriously, your perception is bad of the Raptors. Well, then maybe there's some negative perception you have in general about the world. It really is how you want to look at it. I see all kinds of positive, great things coming for the Raptors and opportunities. And some people may see, oh, downfalls, worse and worse. No, Nick. Oh, you know, getting in their own depressive mind and projecting it outwards is what's going on there. Yeah, it's really interesting. Really, really interesting. I love the comment, Shirkan. I agree. Let's go in this luxury tax when it matters with bird rights and keep these guys. Cowboys saying, let's go, Darko. Keep up the great work. That's right, Darko. You got the Raptor freaks on your side, baby. Bradley and I'll come down and help you run practice if you want. Yeah. We'll get that dog running in there. Bradley and I will yell. We'll like, yeah. You can have these crazy Raptor freaks at your practice, egging your team on. Really getting them amped up. Iceman saying GMs get paid a lot of money to discuss potential trades. That's a part of their job. No one is forced to make a trade just because trade talks take place. Numerous trade talks go nowhere. And I know, Iceman. This is why I like Jake from State Farm with your stupid ass shit. Once again, Jake Fischer. If it's not going to be OG's going this place, OG's unhappy with being in Toronto. He doesn't like his role. He wishes he had more of a role. What the fuck is wrong with you, Jake? You have a problem with the Raptors and you just want to sully us and talk all kinds of bullshit, like make up bullshit, fabricate shit, because this is what this is. I mean, Iceman just described it. What is this? This is what their job is, to talk on the phone and say, yeah, you want to do trades? What is this wasting time? As I said, if anybody's wasting anybody's time, it's these dumbass JMs calling us with their shitty ass deals. That is what's wasting time. It ain't us not making the deals. We have no obligation to make those damn deals. And if anybody down south is getting all in a tizzy because of Jake Fisher's tweet about the Raptors being obstinate about making deals, y'all are fucked up. And you are not letting us play by an equal playing field if you have that perception. Obviously, seriously. I mean, what is this? What is this? Are we obligated? No, we're not. Just like Iceman said, we are not obligated to make those deals with y'all just because you want to make those deals. Cool Cat's here. Good to see Cool Cat. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Since winning the chip, Pascal has been sought after by these teams year after year. Leave him alone. He wants to stay home. There you go. Cool Cat, Pascal fan number one. It's telling y'all, leave him alone. Leave Britley alone. You know, it's like, leave him alone. He said it. He said, you trade me, you send me to Atlanta. I'm not going to sign with you when it comes around. I'm not going to come back and sign with you. I'm going to try and come right back to Toronto. So you go ahead and get a rental deal on an expiring contract. You won't see him sign back with you. No, you won't. So why would you want that? Y'all want something you can't have. It's like there's a really hot girl, it's unattainable, and you're lusting for her. Well, you ain't never going to get Halle Berry. So just put it back in your pants because you ain't getting her. That's right. Pascal is Halle Berry, and we got Halle Berry, and you ain't getting Halle Berry. All right? So just chill. All right? Chill with your thirst. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Infamous is saying Jake Fisher has issues. Good information. The rest of the NBA thinks the Raptors are their farm system. Look how many trades that are discussed and never made. I know. It is whatever. Oh, you're so upset because you made a rumor up and it wasn't anywhere near factual or even coming true in any kind of way. You're going to get mad about that because we made you into a liar? You just want us to fulfill what you say to make you look good? Is this an ego thing, Jake Fisher? Whose time are we actually wasting? I don't think we're wasting the GMs of other people's time because they're trying to get something done. Maybe we're wasting your time. And by default, you're wasting everybody else's time by manufacturing writing your crap. That's who's wasting people's time is your clickbait bullshit. That is who's wasting everybody's time. Ultimately, it ain't Messiah wasting people's time. No, it's not. It's Jake Fisher wasting everybody's time with his bullshit. That is who's wasting people's time right there. Yeah. Stargate saying Jake Fisher with another one of those outlandish, nonsensical, xenophobic, anti-Raptor takes typical of the average American basketball reporter. See why we're saying these guys need to be checked, Lex. I'm saying, listen, I don't know how you check this, though. It's like, okay, Jake, you're an idiot. Thanks for just pointing that out. It's like, what did Messiah and Bobby have to say? Oh, we apologize to Jake Fisher for not making any trades. Ooh, boo-hoo, Jake. You know, Jake, you're less mature than Jake's takes. If I'm going to put a Jake maturity rankings board together, Jake Fisher, you're way down there. You may be even below Jake from 2.5 Men. You're like way down there, bro, with your maturity. Jake's takes has got you way above you. Jake's takes, that great young man making great YouTube content with great interviews with all kinds of different great athletes and coaches. Yeah, Jake's takes is more mature than you, Jake Fisher, with your boo-hoo, why don't Messiah make any deals? Boo-hoo. You know, it's so crazy. Let's check these motherfuckers. That's right. Tom Duke saying the toxic media are just like toxic fans in Raptors Nation, always the same individuals clickbaiting for attention or to propel their agendas. Yeah, Mike Luciano. Yeah, Raptors Rapture. Clickbait artist. Oh, really bad. Extraordinaire. Yeah, he makes people fall in it all the time. Yeah, there's a lot of weird different entities. There's clickbait artists. There's U.S. media clickbait artists. There's our own little Raptors content clickbait artists. There's negative ninny trolls that come out there and everywhere. I see certain individual names everywhere talking trash about the Raptors, even though they're quote unquote Raptors fans themselves. And they're saying, oh, this and this. And all this. Some idiot named Luigi on Twitter, everywhere talking stupid shit. You know, there's a lot of this going on right now. And, you know, just don't have time for it. Infamous is saying we couldn't get Io, so we got Javon instead. Yeah, Io re-signing with the Bulls yesterday. And, you know, in some ways we didn't really want Io. The price for Io probably wasn't right. And look, this guy is nothing. We just signed him to a two-way and boom, we got a guy. I don't know if they're comparable. They're probably not, but in some ways we got a baller from Chicago. That's what people wanted, a guard from Chicago. Well, it's not DeSumo, but it is Freeman-Liberty. Yeah. Stargate saying exactly at Tom Duke about these individuals and media types with their bullshit. Shirkan saying, can't wait to see the 905 lineup. There's a significant possibility of all our two-ways starting at 1, 2, and 3, along with Gueye and Brown in the front court. Dalton Jr. could be invited to training camp. I don't think, all right, Shirkan, I'm going to break this down fairly. I don't know if Brown's in any kind of our plans. So don't count on Moses Brown being there, but Gueye will be there. Yeah. And those other guys. And, who's going to be the starting five? It's going to be Koloko. It's going to be Noel, Grady. Grady's going to start. And that's another person can't forget. You're going to have to put Grady in that starting lineup. So maybe like Noel, Freeman-Liberty, Grady Dick, Mogi, and Koloko start, and Ron Harper comes off the bench. It could be something like that. That's more of the lineup. Koloko needs to be playing at 905 this year once again. We dropped the ball with him last year. Koloko is somebody who needs to be at 905. Trust me. O'Banner's another person will be there, so he'll have to be figured in. He'll probably be a bench forward coming off the bench for us. So, yeah, 905 is going to be fun. Greg and everybody over there is going to have a lot of fun watching those games. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Toronto Raptors is not the NBA farm. Teams passed over O.G. from a top draft pick due to injury. Pascal drafted at 27th. Now they are now top players in the league, and teams keep asking for them. I know you could have drafted them. You could have gotten O.G. Yeah, you guys could have gotten Pascal, but you didn't. We did because we saw what was there, and we made something out of them. And they worked hard here and made themselves into great players. And now y'all lust for them. And that's just how it is. Okay, fine. In some ways, us being so like you can't get these guys makes them lust even more. And in some ways, this is a brilliant by Masai and Bobby to increase their values even higher. It's like who wants something more than anything that they can't have? In some ways, that just inherently drives their value up. Raptors Truth and other people are saying, well, Siakam tanked his trade value because he made it known that he doesn't want to play anywhere else other than Toronto. Well, I don't care about that. That's great. That's great. That makes it harder for people to navigate that minefield to possibly try and extract him from us, knowing that he may not be happy to go to that other team. I have no problem with that. As a Raptors fan, I love that Siakam said that because it does make him harder to trade, and I want him to stay here. Well, somebody who's not really a Raptors fan, an asset manager, somebody who's looking at it like very coldly. Well, I don't like this because I want to be able to move Pascal easier and flexibly, and now he's just ruined his trade value. What are you upset about his trade value more than him actually being on the team? You fucking idiot. You just out yourself as you're not really a fan. If you're more worried about his trade value than actually having the premium great player on our team. Yeah, Raptors Truth. There's some truth for you about you right there. Yeah. They had their chance, Cool Cat saying. You did not get him. So, no, you don't come around and get him now. That's right. Unattainable. That's right. Infamous is saying Jamie Foxx spoke of on the gram. Thank God he's doing well. This is good. I've heard mixed different things about Jamie Foxx in recent months since his medical problems. His family saying he's doing very, very well. Some people saying, no, he's not doing so well. He's holding on to life. Very mixed information about him, but good to see he was on Instagram and he looked good. Here's a little tie-in. You bring something up that may seem like it has nothing to do with the Raptors. Well, I'm going to tie it up real nice with a bow and show you how I can segue from Jamie Foxx to the Raptors again. Pascal Siakam dropping yesterday on Instagram his top 7 TV shows of all time. And number 1 on that list is, Mr. Raymond Reddington. He loves that dude. Holy crap. I've heard him talk about The Blacklist before. I know Siakam loves that show, The Blacklist. Y'all know the show I'm talking about with James Spader, where he's just like this crazy dude who shows up and cleans up messes and takes care of justice and a vigilante way above the law. The law wants to do things with him, but they can't because he's outsmarted them and power plays. He's just a badass. Siakam is exactly right. He says he's like his favorite character of all time. He's just like the best. I love that about Siakam. His love for that character on The Blacklist speaks a lot about Siakam's sense of justice and also the way he may go out of bounds to do the right thing, even if it's not exactly what society would say is the right thing. I like that about Siakam. And it's by far above his favorite show of all time, The Blacklist, and that character in particular, Raymond. Woo! He loved that show. He loves that show. Now he's listed a bunch of other shows, and the last show he added in the list was the Jamie Foxx show. Siakam actually saying that, like, underrated. That Jamie Foxx show was really good. It wasn't on for very long, but it was really, really quite good. He also likes Martin, of course. We've caught Siakam watching some Martin in the past week on Instagram. Well, he really does love that Martin show with Martin Lawrence and all that crew. He must have had something really weird to that because, like, I thought about this. His trainer's Rico Hines. Well, Rico Hines was married to Pam on Martin for a while. They're not together anymore, but they were together. So it's kind of cool that Pascal's trainer was like one of the cast of one of his favorite shows. Like Pascal's trainer's wife was one of the cast of one of his favorite shows. Now, I don't know if she's friendly or not, and Rico could get him to meet her or not. She'd probably be like, fuck you, Rico. I don't want to talk to you. But who knows? Maybe Rico's like, Pascal, come and meet Pam. I don't know. Crazy. All right, let's see. Infamous is saying, Lex, did you speak about open gym? I was completely blown away. Darko's something special. There we go. I was waiting for that cue. Yes, a little bit. I just touched on it just a little bit. Y'all watch this open gym. It feels like it's a half an hour, but it's only really like 15 minutes. It's so power packed, full of great Raptors content. You see them working out. You see some of the different drills Darko's doing with them. You see his intensity in practice. You see him talking with the coaches. You see Pat Delaney doing work too. This made me have more and more confidence in Darko. Watching the first episode of Open Gym from Summer League is really, really good. And y'all, seriously, if you want your first insights and ideas of what Darko's going to be like, this is an Open Gym you got to watch. Because, man, he has something to him. He has a spirit and an energy that you can tell these guys are going to get up for him and play their damnedest. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, that episode. Darko saying that, I didn't want to coach Summer League because I wanted to kind of implement stuff and kind of sit back and watch. And I also wanted to let one of my coaches get the chance to have that opportunity. So much interesting, good stuff. And then they tease at the end of the episode, Dennis showing up at the airport. And Scotty's like, next time on Open Gym. I love it. I love that stuff. And they had the cool dinner with all the players on the roster and the Summer League guys there and the coaches and everybody all intermingling. I saw OG come up and sit down with Grady Dick and Christian Koloko. You see Scotty there palling around, Jakob, Precious. Yeah, really, really, really good stuff. Open Gym yesterday dropped. And one of the best episodes I've seen in a bit. All the ones last year were depressing. This one's fun. Definitely check it out on Infamous and I's recommendation. Darko's saying, there's only so much I'm permitted to say. However, I can tell you this. Scotty has been working diligently at the point guard position this offseason. There you go. Holy crap. We are getting breaking news right here straight from the coach of the Raptors, Darko Rajakovic's fingers. Typing it in and telling us that Scotty has been working diligently at the point guard position this offseason. He can't tell us for sure what's going to happen, but he's saying this is a good sign. Thank you, Darko. Once again, Coach, thanks for your presence here. We do really appreciate it. We're the diehard real ones, and you're in the right place. We love talking to you. Keep coming back when you can. I know you're a very busy guy, and we want you to be busy and more focused on that stuff. But if you can drop in and say hi to us for a second in the morning, we're not upset. Stargate saying, if that's really Coach Darko, then I'm Michael Jordan. Well, hello, Michael Jordan. Wow. In some ways, in improv, you have to have a suspension of disbelief. And in some ways, I'm kind of suspending my disbelief for everyone on here. You could show up here as Vince McMahon, and I would treat you like Vince McMahon. That's been proven already. If you show up as Chet Holmgren, I will treat you as Chet Holmgren. I can only go by your name as Tom Duke. I've met Tom Duke in real life. I know who Tom Duke is. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Tom Duke. But if your name is Darko Rajakovic, well, I have to take you possibly being him. We don't know. Like, in some ways, Stargate, think about this. Darko may be that kind of guy who really likes connecting with all aspects of the team, and maybe we're his lifeline and connection to the fans. Like, he may have figured out, okay, the Raptor freaks are the real ones, the positive ones. If I'm going to keep a group in my corner, I want to keep in touch with them. I don't know. Maybe you are Michael Jordan. But for now, we're just going to play along. I mean, I can't go against. If it is Darko, and I don't want to insult him. Let's just put it that way. If it is Darko, I definitely want to insult him. We love you, Darko. We're so proud and we respect you. And we're really happy you're our coach here in Toronto right now. So it's like, I can't go against this. As fool me, go ahead and fool me. I'm taking everybody at face value here. Y'all could show up and be Barack Obama, and I'll treat you like Barack Obama. I don't care. In some ways, it's kind of like, this is part of the show. Who knows could show up here, and it's just what it is. If you want to change your name to Michael Jordan tomorrow, we'll start talking to you, MJ. Yeah, his airness. Oh my gosh, Michael Jordan is in the chat. Yes, yes. All right, Tom Duke has got the 5 Raptor lineup. I love it. I love it. Tom Duke is laughing. He's got a scary Pensera face too, I think. No, that's not the Pensera face. All right, Stargate saying that, cool cat. We know we are not a farm team, but the rest of the NBA treats us like one. It's as if we are not allowed to have any high aspirations and not allowed to be too successful. Yeah, they wanted that. In some ways, we messed up and went against the rules when we won that championship in 2019. We really did kind of not go according to plan. They wanted more teams to beat up on and have to be shitty. Like the Vancouver Grizzlies. The Vancouver Grizzlies were really bad and exactly what they wanted that team to kind of be. Make enough money to stay viable and economically there, but they don't have to win. These people should just be happy to have the NBA in their city. Is that kind of mentality. And they had the same mentality about us too early on. Well, Vince showed up and we started winning. And then the whole idea about what the Raptors could be changed. And then there was like, okay, Vince left. He got out of here. And there was a difficult period where we kind of went back to that kind of mentality. But we are shaking this off. And we're not like the Charlotte Hornets. No, we are not like the Orlando Magic at this point. We are a top team and we are kicked ass for a long, long time. We're not a farm team. In fact, some ways we use other teams as farm teams for us. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing with Jakob is kind of like that with San Antonio. No disrespect to the Spurs. We love you and we love that you got Victor. You're going to kick some ass. But in some ways, we kind of farmed Jakob to y'all for a couple years. And now we got him back with all the spoils of like the development and time with Greg Popovich. In some ways, that was kind of a farm team move by us towards San Antonio. I mean, but I all do love and respect. It helped both teams a lot in both ways. But in some ways, that could be looked at as kind of like a farm team kind of move. Seriously. Let's see. Stargate is saying Raptors Truth is a plant, either a hockey plant or an NBA front office plant. Yeah, I get that vibe from him too. First of all, is that his picture? Is that who he is? Because that informs a lot of it. Or is that just like somebody's idea of being somebody stupid or something? I don't know. It's definitely a troll account. It's definitely a troll account in some ways. And I think you're right. It's either a hockey plant or maybe an NBA front office, other team plant, or maybe even a Rogers plant. Who knows? Very, very interesting information. Cool Cat saying, this is the CBA I was worried about. Keeping Pascal, O.G, Scotty, our drafted trio is tough financially. I hope MLSE is given permission, Masai permission to go over the cap. Well, they should. Winning championships is major things for their bottom line. So making more championships and bringing the brand and the worth of the Toronto Raptors franchise up is in their best interest. I mean, this is the whole business of this, right? So it's like, and that because they've won, they actually see the results of what it means economically, the boom after a championship. Yeah, they want to go get that again. So in some ways, smart businessmen know you got to spend a little to make a little. And they could spend that money on paying in the luxury tax and get a championship, and it all comes back 10 times or 100 times back the other way. So smart businessmen will do this. They will do this very quickly, and they will understand multiple championships and bringing the luster of the Toronto Raptors brand up higher and higher just means more and more money and valuation. So, yeah, they should do this. The Golden State Warriors franchise, their value shot up in the last 10 years with this dynasty of championships over and over again. Yeah, they will. If they're smart, they'll do it. If they're not smart, then they'll be dumb and they'll sabotage it. But if they're smart, they'll do it. Let's just put it that way. Cece, thank you for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Very kind of you. You are awesome. You're the best, Cece. Yeah, awesome. Raptor Freak, Cece. I appreciate you so much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Cece. Shirkan saying Marvel has their What If series. So I thought, why not come up with our own Raps What If scenarios? What if OG gets more touches and absolutely dominates? Dunk on people, hitting mid-range and raining down threes. This could happen. It happened kind of when Siakam was hurt last year. Remember, he was kind of stepping into Siakam's shoes and being that role for us, that the number one scorer, taking over at the end of games, getting 30-plus games, 30-plus point games. This could happen. He's ready to do this, Shirkan. He could do it. It's really for him to just go take. I think even when Siakam and Fred and everybody was healthy, he could just go take it whenever he wanted to. It's just on him. You just got to go get it, OG. Nobody's stopping you. You think your role is too small? Well, you go get more if you want, because it's there for you to take. And especially this season with Fred leaving, and we need you to take another step up in consistency and maybe dominating. And I'm all about this, Shirkan. I'm definitely all about this. Shirkan saying I put Brown at 5 in the 9 to 5 because I believe Koloko is going to get significant backup minutes alongside Precious and Boucher. Brown could be a call up later, if not by other teams, then by the Raptors themselves. There's some worry or ambiguousness about whether Moses Brown's allowed to get a two-way because of what year he's in his NBA career. He's in his 5th year. And I don't know if you're allowed to get a two-way after 4 years. So I don't think Moses Brown has a path to be on our team. It's kind of like his path to get on our team was he has to be straight up given a roster spot. And I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that he's showed enough consistency or good all-around play. He's good in some ways for sure, but not really good in other ways. So yeah, I don't see this because he's not eligible for a two-way, first of all. And we're not going to waste our roster spot, the only one we have at this point, on him. Stargate saying Rico Hines was married to Pam. No way. Wow. Yeah. Rico was married to Pam, and he cheated on her, and he did a little M.A. Adoka, and they split up and got a divorce. And I don't know if they're amicable at this point. Yeah, Rico was in a Hollywood marriage with Pam from Martin. Yeah, Martin. Yeah, she is awesome. She's such a good actress and so feisty and just such a badass. And she can sing too. That's the other thing about that actress. What's her name? Tashina Arnold. I think that's what. No, that's the main girl. I forget her name. MK saying, "Hey Lex, this is a little off topic, but if Toronto got a WNBA team, which players would you want? Let's say teams can protect 4 players." Wow. This is something I feel like I should get prepared for. MK, this is a great question. I know you're really enjoying our fantasy NBA league. You're doing really good, and you've really gotten into it. This is tough. I mean, I love the people that are on my team. I know there's no way we could get Jewel Lloyd, but man, she would be fantastic to have on the Raptors WNBA team. I mean, but she is one of the best players in the league, the MVP of the All-Star game. And the Storm's best player, Seattle Storm. I don't know how to answer this without kind of like doing a bit of research before, without doing it educated wise. But that's a fun question. And if we get closer news that's saying that the WNBA is probably going to come here, we'll definitely do content like this. Definitely do it like this. This may be a little early, and I may need to do some research to answer this correctly, but I appreciate the question, MK, and keep winning. You're kicking so much butt. Keep going. I want to play you in the playoffs. It's going to be fun. Denounce saying Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, Kyla Lowry, Victoria Carter, Scotia Barnesy, and Jessica Pirtle. There's some weird AI thing where people were making the NBA players into WNBA players, like LeBron turning him female, and they're really weird looking. Like, I don't know if they're exactly fair. All this AI shit is really fucked up, honestly. A lot of it is, like, in some ways, I'm starting to just want to reject it. I watch my videos on Friday afternoons, and there's more and more AI videos coming out, and I actually discredit them at this point. I mean, in some ways, in the beginning, I thought it was kind of cool. But at this point, the way AI is going and how it treats artists and stuff is wrong. And in some ways, I don't want to support it. So I'm not really into watching AI things or interested in AI stuff, because in some ways I want to reject it, because I know it's inevitably going to come. And let's enjoy the time when it's not really overwhelmingly everywhere now while we still have it, because it could very well be just everywhere and annoying. Oh my gosh. Cool Cat saying, yes, Lex, Pam on Martin's real name is Tashina Arnold. Okay, yeah, so I did have it right. I forget, because they have similar names, the two main females on that show. Similar names as actresses. All right, let's talk a little bit more about Ron Harper Jr. Ron is a Tiger mom. She very much was on his butt when he's growing up, and she's the one who taught him how to play. She was a pro player herself, along with his dad, of course. But he was away and working, like coaching with Phil Jackson when he was real little. Ron Harper Sr. was coaching on the Lakers with Phil in the mid 2000s after he retired. So he didn't come right home. And a lot of the formative years of Ron Harper Jr. were taught by his mother. And she gets a lot more credit for forming him as a player than actually Senior does. And then the other cool thing about Ron Harper Jr. is his brother Dylan. He's coming up and he's coming into the draft next year. And there, some people are saying that he's like one of the top prospects in the whole entire nation. There's a couple of different prospect boards around different places, and they're really projecting Ron's little brother Dylan to be like one of the top players coming up in his class. I don't know if Dylan's better than Ron. That could very well be the case, but I have no idea yet. But yeah, this it's interesting stuff. Cool Cat saying for WNBA, I want us to get our Canadian girl Toby. Yeah, she's not even in the WNBA yet. It could line up really well, Cool Cat, if we think about it. Like if we get a team for next year and we get involved in the draft next year, maybe we get to draft Toby as a home product. She had a really good game with a 23 rebounds recently. Absolutely fantastic for Team Canada. And I'm about this. I like that. Yeah, Tisha Campbell. That's the name of Martin's wife and that actress. That's right. Yeah. Sheer Khan saying, true, Lex. Moses had not done enough to get that last valuable spot. I think that would be a training camp prize for sure. You know, it's weird. Moses Brown in the open gym says he'd never been to a summer league until this year. I find that so crazy to me. Like, why didn't you do summer league before when you were a younger player? Because he always had a roster spot, and that's how he's fallen. So in some ways, look at it that way, Shirkan. Moses Brown was a rostered player for 3 years, and now he isn't, and he doesn't have a spot at all. And that is like falling out of the NBA. Seriously. At 4 years in the NBA, and you go to a summer league, and now it's ambiguous about whether you're going to be playing or not this year. Yeah, he might be done. He might be out. He could be on a G League team. I don't know if he's even eligible to play in G League at this point. This man needs to go overseas, I think. I think that Moses is on his way overseas at this point. All right, let's do our Raptors Instagram check. We'll start off with Dennis Schroeder. I'm now following Dennis. He's got a picture of some socks, and he's saying that his socks are coming out on the way. He has branded socks with his little symbol on it. So look out for Dennis Schroeder socks coming out later. And he's also got some clothing line, too, coming out. It's coming out in a couple days or something like that. I don't know. For some fluorescent pink and stuff like that. Monique is posting Marquise Noel putting in work at the gym. Love seeing Marquise working hard. Get that dog going, Mr. New York City, and keep going. Also, Monique has got the clip on Justine Jones that came out yesterday on Raptors admin official. She is part of the PR department, and I believe she's the daughter of Paul Jones, guys. But she is doing a lot of like prep work and game day work and stuff for the team in different areas. So they were showing Justine Jones as a member of the Raptors organization yesterday in a clip. That was nice to see. And then Monique's got this picture up, and I want to know what y'all would say. Which pill are you taking? The blue pill is Vince never leaves, and the red pill is Kawhi never leaves. I don't know. Never leaves. That sounds a little crazy. Like what? Vince would still be playing right now, even though he's retired. I don't know. I picked Kawhi mainly because if Kawhi didn't leave right then, maybe Dr. Alex could have kept him together better than the Clippers medical staff, and we could have gone for a repeat. We saw how good our team was even without Kawhi. That I think we would have repeated if Kawhi had stayed. So I'd say take the red pill because it's more likely to mean another championship. And if we had kept Vince at that time when we traded him, our team was pretty in shambles at that point. And there's no guarantee that we're going to ever win a championship with retaining Vince at that time. In fact, Vince never won a championship in his very long career. So I would take that red pill every single day, Monique, that Kawhi red pill, and get that repeat, possible three-peat going on real quick. I know that repeat would have happened for sure. And Kawhi knows deep down inside he left a championship on the table when he went to LA. Koloko putting on blast Lionel Messi's debut for Inter Miami in the MLS yesterday, wearing their weird pink jerseys, and LeBron at the game hugging Lionel Messi before the game. And of course, a storybook is written. He kicks a penalty kick to win the game at the end of the game, and everybody's calling him GOAT, including our guy Christian Koloko, who is obviously a huge soccer fan, and he was all about Messi and Inter Miami last night in the fun. And when LeBron was there with Messi, is very much put on blast the two GOATs together there. Really, really cool stuff. Open Gym, obviously going to have part 2 come out next week. I love the footage of the Sphere in quick time. It's so weird to see that big, huge basketball go around so quickly like that. on the Raptors official and stuff. Thad Young still pushing Reform Transportation, y'all. If y'all need some transportation needs, Reform is your company. And also putting on blast Shanika, his wife. So much love for her. She's got that fiery orange hair. It looks cool in her cool green pants. Shanika Young is a very cool NBA wife. I love her stuff on Twitter. And she's just always she's very intelligent and she's got such a strong opinions. And I love her using her voice as the wife of an NBA player and just as who she is. It's really good. Siakam, as I said, he's named his top 7 TV shows, and Raymond Reddington is number 1. Blacklist, of course. He says the best show ever. He loves his hats. He loves his style. He's cool as hell. He made bad things look good. And then he's got more putting on blast of the PS 43 Foundation. And then there's pictures of him on a boat with very nice blue waters. Looks like, I don't know where he is there. He could be on the islands. He could actually be in Florida. Also, you could either be in Florida or the islands. He's got some really nice food on that boat, a really beautiful sunset, sunrise. Oh, man, Siakam looking like, yeah, that looks like Miami. It looks like he's down around the Miami area where Siakam is right now. Slim Duck is working out, and he's missing shots. And it's saying when missing isn't an option, he's like, oh, fuck this. He's all mad because he's missing his threes. He's not happy about it. And then there's a cool picture of him doing a commercial. I guess he's doing a commercial for Silk. You guys know Silk soy milk or, almond milk. It looks like he's doing a Silk commercial. This is definitely the time of year where these Raptors are going to be doing their commercial work, like Scotty and Chris this week, getting in their commercials for the season coming up, filming. And then Ron Harper Jr. is putting on Playables on blast, some green juice he got. I'm sure it's a friend of his company or something like that. So, yeah, and then he's getting his hair cut yesterday. Ron getting his hair did. His hair did right. Mr. New York City's got a picture of him with a guy from New York. I'm not sure who that guy is. So I think that's everybody. Yeah, that's everybody. There's your Raptors Instagram check for today with what I seen there. All right, let's see. MK saying, yeah, it's tough without a list of players in front of you. I'm just very impressed with how good some of these WNBA players are. Rico and the Dallas Wings are my favorite. Cool. Yeah, in some ways, I really like I'm a big fan of the Mercury. I've been a big fan of the Mercury for a long, long time, since the beginning. I really like their team, but I really like Brittany, and I like Sug Sutton, who's a backup point guard for them. She was somebody I picked up early in the season on a whim, and boy, has she paid off. She's been absolutely fantastic as the backup point guard to Diana Taurasi. So, in some ways, it really is your team will help you get to know players and kind of like them more. And so I'm really big on the Suns, on the Mercury, sorry, and also on the Sky. I like Chicago Sky. I like James Wade's old team also. A couple of players I've got from that team also on my team, like Courtney, and there's a forward I've got from that team also. All right, Cowboy, have a great day, Lex and Raptor Freaks. Everyone have a great day and enjoy the sunshine. Let's go, Raptors. Yeah, y'all have a great day. Share the love. Share love for Ron. Share love for the other Raptors. Share love for our front office. Share love for Raptors Nation. Share love for each other. Share love for yourself. Sometimes you got to remember to love yourself and put yourself on that list also. I appreciate y'all watching today. Tomorrow, we're going to do a Sunday special report on the challenge calls. I want to talk specifically about when the best time to call the challenge is and what kind of calls are best to call it on, and kind of like when you probably shouldn't call it and why you shouldn't call it. So, yeah, we're going to do a Sunday special report on challenge calls. And also, we'll talk a little bit about the new rule of having a second challenge if you're successful with it. So let's get into challenge calls tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. on the Raptors Freak channel. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great Saturday. Get out there and touch grass and continue to share the love for the rest of today. Thank you. Please subscribe, share, comment, do whatever you want with this channel. It's fun. Let's go, Bradley. Let's go, Raptors.